I'd like to give you a quick walkthrough of the standard spreadsheet that we've been providing to clients when they need to begin their OKR journey using spreadsheets. The spreadsheet itself has a series of tabs. Each tab allows you to document one objective with up to 5 key results. It allows you to do data entry, add in the commentary, set the status, set the overall objective status, and see graphs of the overall performance. Each objective is summarized on the first tab that gives you an overall performance for up to 5 objectives. And finally, there's a control tab in which we can set defaults for departments and statuses. So what I'd now like to do is to begin showing you how you would set this up. So normally, the first thing you want to do is set up the objective and key result. So what level is this at? Let's pretend we're doing a L2, who the owner might be, and what the parent objective is. Now within that, I'm going to capture my objective. So my objective might be solve customers' problems. Now, I'm going to have some key results. So my first key result might be something like number of trouble tickets. Unit of measure is going to be number. And our high value is good or bad. So obviously with trouble tickets, high values are bad. So low values are good. Let's do mean time to respond. Unit of measure is going to be minutes. And this is another case where low values are good. And then let's try something, fix it right first time. And that's going to be a percentage. And in this case, high values are good. So in this way, I've been able to identify my objective and key results. Over to the right, I can begin putting in my data. So in this case, let me just zoom out a bit so you can see where we are on the sheet. So the first one is number of trouble tickets. And let's say my starting value for the sake of argument is 5. And in week 1, we had also 5. And my target, let's say my target, what I expect to have is 10, we'll say. Now, for mean time to respond, maybe previous weeks was 15, and my target is to get it down to 11. And this time I was at 14, we'll say. And then finally, we've got fix it right the first time. Again, our target, let's say our target fix right the first time is we want 80% of them fixed right the first time. Our starting value is say 60. And maybe here we managed to get up to 75% were fixed right the first time. So you can see that it calculates how we've been performing against the target. And then we can manually set how we think that is. So what's the status? So I might say at this level, I'm on track to where I want it to be. This level, maybe I'm indicating that it needs attention. So I can manually set what I think the overall status is. And maybe in this case, I'm going to give myself a on track here as well. So I can give myself an overall status. For just to make life interesting, let's say I'm going to put it at risk. Then I can put in my commentary that we talked about, the what, the so what, and the now what. And now I've completed the data entry. And you can see that obviously it begins to track the data for us on the spreadsheet. And it's going to carry those results over to the first page. So what this allows us to do is to begin building those OKRs out. An example from one of the groups that we had was provide systems for HR process and compensation, and they chose KRs. Their objective was maximize the efficiency payroll systems, and the number of defects and payroll system uptime with the numbers they're looking for. These are fictitious performance numbers. Overall, I give myself on track, put in my analysis, and that also gets carried over to the front. So the issue here is there really are three types of values that we need to cover: when low values are good, when high values are good, and a constant value. So a constant value is where I'm targeting a specific number. So for example, the number of training hours. I don't want too few training hours. I don't want too many training hours. There's a target value I'm looking for. So this allows us to create the right calculations. You still have to use your intelligence as a process owner to give us a status, and also to do the what, so what, now what analysis. But in this way, your boss can take a look at the overall performance.